Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not.
Hi,
Andrew.
y'all. Hi, Aunt. Hi, everyone. Thank you for engaging. We loved the comments last week.
Yeah, we had a lot of great comments.
I replied to each and every one of you.
Yeah, so if you want to interact with Andrew, just leave a comment.
Yeah. And
I
I
think he's cute.
Totally. And I also learned firsthand that you tree huggers are scary AF. All I do is dip my toe on the dark fugazi side. Didn't jump in the water, dipped my toe, and y'all came at me like, I don't know, like I was walking into the third grade with a head full of lice.
Like I had given them,
seriously.
Like I had given them instructions too.
Oh, maybe you did.
No,
the dark web.
I love tree. I did.
Well,
maybe I came after them.
Subscribe, like, and comment. We love engaging with you. And let's break down this week.
Well, you know what I think was the most interesting part of this episode is that Dolores had the most screen time.
She did.
Because otherwise we had very little tree. We didn't have a lot of the Gorgas. I mean, except for the party. We didn't have a lot of Jackie. We didn't have a lot of the Aydins. We didn't have a lot of Danielle. We didn't have a lot of Rachel. Though I did feel bad about Rachel's daughter. I'm just going to say I know a lot about tongue-tied. I don't think that's the problem, but we don't talk about the kids on this show.
Well, I will say Rachel did post a photo around her daughter's last day of school, and it was really nice that apparently she had a really great year in school and she's doing wonderful.
Oh, good. That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
But it was not about any one housewife. They all had like equal editing.
I mean, Margaret.
Yeah, but Margaret still didn't have a whole lot of airtime. Nobody had like dominated the episode.
Oh, no, not the airtime. Not the airtime.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the airtime. It was all pretty much, we had a little tree. We had a little Danielle at home. We had a little Rachel at home. We had a little Aydin's at home. We had Margaret at home. I'm just saying it was paced well. I'll say that.
I have to say that
Wait 1 second. I can't hear you. We're very professional here. Go ahead.
Why does I think that sometimes Bravo pisses me off because like we could have read it like a book that you were like, hey, Danielle and husband roll into your kids' rooms and wake them up just like Juicy Joe and Teresa did 10 years ago during season 2. Like we need to, recycle the way we do things. Those poor children that were bombarded by Danielle with that voice and her husband, at least he's cute. But not that his kids would think he's cute, but I'd let him wake me up.
You like him.
Oh, he's handsome. He's young too.
Okay.
Well, but I will say that it was just like
does nothing for me.
I would, if I was the kids, I would have been like, get that camera out of my face, just like Melania did years ago.
Yes, because Melania. Well, that's why Melania is Melania. She's an icon.
Before we keep going, thank goodness, Melania, that you are safe from your little car accident that you had this week. You totaled your car, and that teacher at your school. Could you imagine being that teacher hitting Teresa Giudice's daughter, and not just any daughter, Melania Giudice?
Melania. Did you see Melania?
The videos, the police cam. I'm sure everyone saw it. Epic if you haven't seen it.
Epic. But did you see Melania's prom pictures?
Oh, yes. Queen.
Oh, my God. Queen Melania. And she's going to the University of Tampa. And I want to tell you, since we're on colleges right now, Jen Fessler and Antonia are at the same sorority. I looked it up.
Jen Fessler's daughter.
Yeah, Jen Fessler's daughter and Antonia are at the same sorority. I told you they would be. Oh, and I looked up where Miss Giudice is at Michigan, and I can't find it right now, but she's in a sorority also.
Oh, that's
she is also in a sorority. I wrote it down, but I can't find it right now, and I'm not going to get it wrong. But she did. I think
Melania should send out a PSA to all of the high schoolers out there that stress way too much about getting into college, because as Melania would say, I'm going wherever I get in.
And I'm not going anywhere hard. She kept on going, University of Michigan's hard. She went to a hard school. I'm not going to hard school. Wherever it takes me, I'm going. And she got into she didn't get into a great school, but she's going where Melania should be.
Yeah. And for everyone out there, I'm also a little bit of a masochist. So I'm going to go out on a limb right now. I don't think it was Tree's fault, but Tree, Louie, putting Louie's son to get a haircut, to just tell him I love you 16 times on camera, it was a little annoying.
It was a little lame, but you know what? I
He's
thought it
a
was
sweet
nice
kid.
that they highlighted him in a gentle way.
I
How's
think
that?
it's nice his name's Nicholas, and so is
I know,
Jacqueline
and
Larita's son who has autism. His
autism
name is
also.
Nicholas too.
Yeah, well, he has autism, Nicholas.
They both do.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's why Louis' son does have
Yeah.
autism. But
I hope
Melania
Louis' son
just
talks
wanted
to Jacqueline's son because he's probably a little older and he might be someone that just can give them a little bit of guidance. I think it's very sweet.
Yeah, I do too. But Melania doesn't want to study.
No.
She's just there to have a party. She was going to a good place, and she'll be really close to the Bahamas. She could probably be to her father in an hour.
Totally.
Actually, with the way the border is and the ocean right now, Joe should just get like a houseboat and put it out in Tampa Bay, and she could swim out and see him all the time. Nobody would probably know he was there. What the heck? Dolores's mom is real. She's probably one of the most real people. Marge's mom isn't real. Not that she's not real. She is real.
But she's claimed it from the beginning.
What,
Marge's
Dolores?
Mom. Marge Sr. has always been like, she's always
over the top.
Over the top.
Always. Yeah, she's over the top.
That's Johnson in a way.
Yeah. And Teresa's mom
an inside
never
joke.
Yes. Teresa's mom was never over the top.
No.
Melissa's mom could
looks
if
amazing,
she wanted to.
She does.
She does, but she could go extra at any time. Right?
Yeah.
But Dolores's mom is real, and she's telling her like it is. I don't think she's a fan of Paulie. I just don't. I think Dolores's mom is sort of like, oh, you had that last guy, and he ended up never marrying you, and now you've got this guy, and he's never going to marry you either.
Yeah,
and he wants you to. He wants you, and then I love how the mom said, give you 1 year, and you'll be no more than he does.
Yeah.
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 But that was a nice dynamic. And then Dolores is in the middle of everything, isn't she?
Yeah. What did you think about the whole Jackie and Marge situation?
Oh, we're going right there?
I mean, what else is there really to talk about?
Well, we found out that, there's a lot of stuff, and that Fugazi was not bringing that bottle. Fugazi left the bottle, and Teresa got the bottle.
Well, they said that at the end of last episode. They said, we're not taking it. Yeah.
Right. And Teresa took the bottle, and Teresa had to make sure she gave the bottle to Dolores.
Do you think Dolores from the meeting and gave it to Dolores?
Say that again?
I think the producers gave it to Dolores to bring, because if not, they would have shown Teresa talking to Dolores to be
and they didn't. Right.
I want you to bring this. So I just think the production was like, you got to take this Dolo.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to give it to Dolores, because she is Switzerland. Yes.
See, I don't think
you know what? I was surprised that Frank wasn't at the party.
Well, it's probably getting ready to get married.
Maybe to propose. The Gorgas house is beautiful.
Yes,
it's
I'm sure.
Stunning. And I just want to bring up something we talked about last week.
Yeah.
You know what I want to talk about, don't you?
No.
The closet. Melissa has a beautiful closet.
She does.
It was on point. I'm just going back to, I have a new name. I realized who Rachel Fuda reminds me of.
Who?
Olive oil.
She reminds you of olive oil?
Yeah, in Popeye. Olive oil.
Right? Oh.
In Popeye. In Popeye.
Oh,
not Popeye's the chicken sandwich. Popeye the Sailor Man.
I thought that
she reminds me
it was either regular or extra virgin.
She's regular. That's who she reminds me of. Olive oil and Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Do you I think jury's still out on this.
Okay.
Do you think and I think there's 3 options here. A, the Fudas are trying to get close to the Gorgas because they're being strategic.
Right.
The Gorgas are trying to get close to the Fudas because they're being strategic.
Yes.
Or they may just genuinely like each other because they are kind of mini-me's of each other.
Yeah, the Fudas are mini Gorgas.
Yeah, so it could go
Yeah.
anyway. I could see them being friends without a TV show.
Yes, I
Just
could
being
too.
like, oh, they're 10 years younger than us and they're kind of like us.
Yes, but I don't think they're going to be friends forever.
Well, no, Melissa's going to get fired and Rachel's going to get a nice raise.
No, I don't think they'll be friends forever.
I
There's no
agree.
way. Yeah, they won't be friends forever. But I will say, I put down that Dolores brought it was a BTB. She brought Teresa's booze. It's like a BY.
Oh, yeah.
Bring your own BTB. Bring Teresa's booze.
I didn't think it was
Now,
wrong
what did
that
you think
Teresa
about?
and Louie brought the bottle. I thought that it
didn't
was
either,
nice.
but you know
it's
what?
free booze.
It was just, and I thought Melissa handled it properly. We're
I
just
do
going
too.
to
She
take
goes,
this.
let's put it back
with the
Let's
other
put it with all
17
the other ones.
bottles we have,
Yeah.
and let's just move on. Now, what did you think of him throwing the card in the
The
fire?
only slob at that party, Jackie, is Joe Gorga, not Dolores. That's the only slob there. What he did with that card was not only, listen, I don't think I'd be able to not read what was inside of it, which is what I was the most
You
upset about. I
wouldn't
was
be
like,
able, yeah, you
well,
want to
you
know.
just don't even know what she had inside of it. What if
Right.
there was something in there that was important, that changed things or made it worse or made it better? I have no idea. Now, you could have opened it, read it, and then still dramatically thrown it in there if you wanted to.
It almost
I just
would
couldn't
have been
believe
more
that he didn't open it.
dramatic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Because don't you think he's curious? I'm sure
Well,
it
then
only
he
said
could have
best
even made a
wishes on your
lie.
new home. It could have
He
said
could
just
have
best
even made a
wishes
lie.
on your new home. Wishing you the best. And
Yeah.
I mean, they do not talk to each other.
No. And you know what? I have to say, if there's one thing that I actually believe that in so many years of this, that Joe, Melissa, Teresa, and Louie now, but even going back to Judice, that all four of them are in agreement about this.
Yes.
We do not talk.
Yeah.
I think that the Gorgas were either stretching, which would be totally possible, or the production was stretching this idea of like, oh, you're not going to talk to me, but you're going to send me a bottle. It's like, I actually think that that's the appropriate thing to do. It's meaningless. It's like less than $100, and it's a nice gesture, but it also is like, it's something that I've seen people that don't talk.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it's not uncommon for family that doesn't talk.
Right. Andrew froze. You froze, Andrew.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You froze.
Am I back now?
Yeah, but I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Have we ever done that before on record? Is that going to make the blooper reel? I sneezed.
So what else? What do you think? What else?
Okay, well, no, we didn't talk about Dolores getting involved. We didn't talk about Jackie. We didn't talk about Jackie and Marge.
Oh, no, that's what I want to jump to.
Yeah, let's get to it because that was the highlight. And, we had not Rachel. Jennifer did go. Jennifer acted fine. She was fine at the Aydin's party. It was all good. What can I say? She was fine. It was no big deal. I do like the idea of everybody wearing yellow. I thought it was nice. I'll be honest. I don't like limoncello. Did you like limoncello when you drank?
I liked anything that had alcohol in it.
but no, there's something you liked limoncello.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it.
Oh, I think it's gross, but that's just me. I don't like limoncello. If I got there, I would be like, something else but the limoncello, please. But I thought it was nice they all wore yellow. But I mean, like, trying to go to a Gorga party and keep it classy when Joe Gorga's there is kind of hard. Because he just has to go there all the time. He just does.
But is the party over?
Is the party over? I don't know. Well, they showed the previews, and Jennifer and Danielle are going at each other, and they had on different outfits.
Okay. So the party might be over. Okay.
The party might be over. I thought what Jackie said was 1,000% true. Someone is in that girl's ear. It's obvious because she's getting too wound up, Rachel Fuda. She's not, olive oil. She's not acting rational. It's like she already has the lines in her head of what she's supposed to say. Jackie is right. We know she's being fed and we know who she's being fed by. And the idea that Jackie brought it up and said somebody's feeding her this frenzy. And then Marge had such a reaction to it. It was just proof the way Marge went after Jackie that she hit a nerve on Marge.
But it also showed, I mean, there's a couple things here. First and foremost, Marge did catch Marge did show Dolores red-handed that Jackie did say what she said.
Gee, she did.
So that's that. Now,
I'm not denying that. I agree.
Same. Marge's approach, two things. First and foremost, she looks like a little rat creeping around the room. You can like see her in the background. She just
Marge,
looks like a little rat.
Yeah. It's such a bad look for her.
Also, like, you don't like, it's like one of those one thing don't look like the other. You got all these like fiercely loyal Italian broads. And then you got Marge being like, oh, you pissed me off today? Oh,
yeah.
Screenshots.
And then she went over to her husband. She went over to Joe and it was like, Joe, we don't talk to her. We don't talk to her. She's not my friend. She's not my friend. That was a little
And then
amplified.
Joe is like, oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's afraid. But
Joe. I will also say, Jackie, like, what was your intention going over to Joe and giving him a big hug after you just had a fight with Margaret? Like, I mean,
that was all part of it.
The awareness really isn't there.
I thought it was well played, actually.
Yeah. I mean, we had before where, remember years ago in Jersey when, remember the girl that had cancer and her husband that was super short, the mortgage fraud.
Oh, yeah. His name was, her name. Oh, God, give me a minute. It will come to me.
Well,
she had cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, she had cancer. The cancer, as she would say. The cancer.
I think his name was
Jim.
Joe,
his name was Jim.
Jim. I knew it was a J. Okay, Jim, and I think it began with an M.
Jim and
somebody tell us, remind us what her name was. She was only on one season. She was when the twins were on.
And she had the cancer.
They weren't twins, right?
No, they were Teresa and
Nicole or something.
Nicole.
Yeah. They were twins?
They were
twins. They just close in age. So they were like Darcy and Stacy.
And Teresa was married to Reno and Nicole was dating Bobby. That was his name. Bobby's family owned a bunch of car dealerships. Now, the fact that I remember that, but I forget her name is a problem.
His name was Jim, though. I don't remember. I've forgotten they were on the show.
Well, anywho,
they were kind of that weird phase. But
she used to go up to people. She used to go up to that Bobby and be like, "Control your girlfriend." And so would Jim. That's kind of what I was hoping Jackie would have done, just to kind of like. But I think Jackie's coming in like slow. Like I think she doesn't want to like look super desperate.
Jackie really. Well, first of all, Kayla was there.
Oh yeah,
she's never going to be a housewife because in the middle of a fight. She wanted to have a tour of the house. And I thought that is why you did that. You're in scenes, but you will never be back because in the middle of a fight, you get in the fight. If you want to be a housewife, you don't go, but I just want to see the house. I want to see the closet.
That's why Fessler didn't have a good first season. All she wanted to do was eat.
Yeah. Totally. But you know what? John Fessler and Jeff is his name. Jeff Fessler and Jen Fessler don't really go.
Amber was her name.
Amber, you went and looked it up, or it came to you?
Jim Marchese, Amber.
Yeah, I knew it begins with an M. They're definite, but Marge, you agree that Marge and Melissa are in Olive Oil's ears?
Yeah, but I think that they don't. I can only imagine what they're thinking watching it back. Because I think that they don't see and I hope that now that with there's no reunion, there's this rumors around who's coming back. I hope Melissa and Marge have to truly sit in this feeling that they created a platform for Rachel Fuda and they basically gave her the chance to steal their jobs. And she is taking full advantage of it.
And they both are.
And what I meant to our listeners, which I clarified in the comments.
Yes.
I don't believe
he's
that
talking about last week's.
I don't believe
episode.
that Rachel and Fuda, well, it's ongoing. This is an ongoing theme.
Right.
I don't think that they are, I don't think Teresa needs them. I think Teresa is probably a kid in a candy store, knowing that she created a boundary with her sister-in-law, and that was a boundary. There was no communication. Now she has this look-alike of her sister-in-law, chopping like a chihuahua, just like her sister-in-law.
Gorga Light.
Who she doesn't have to have a boundary of. There's no cousins involved. There's no shared parents. There's like nothing. She can just go tit for tat. She can keep it surface level. And what I'm saying is that because she's so close to Melissa, Melissa isn't fighting with anyone. Melissa is not relevant. Teresa's fighting with Fuda, who's an extension of Melissa. So in a weird way, Teresa, even though she won't film with Melissa, won't talk to her, she's not one of those problematic Bravo talents right now that's like, I won't film with that person because of the Fudas. So it's like giving Teresa kind of like a chance to get dirty.
Totally.
When Melissa doesn't really have that.
True. And not only that, but John is so, I want to say it the right way. He's like fed into the Tony Soprano tough guy jersey, kind of, he's all about that. And we've had other husbands who have gotten involved in the storyline, like Evan a couple of years ago, where they were talking about him. You never saw him become that guy.
Well, that's because Evan realized early on that the amount of money he makes in finance in New York City is more money than Jackie's ever going to make on the show. So he couldn't sell out for Bravo. He made too much money.
But John has like, he's bought into this whole like Jersey tough guy thing. Like, oh, I'm a tough guy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm going to tell you, it makes him look like a grundoon. It does to me. I mean, he thinks that it's making him look like, oh, like, you know, puffy chest, like he's got it. But to me, it just makes him look so small and stupid. Like, have the fight with Louie. Do not have a fight with the wife. It is okay for Rachel and for Teresa to go at it. Hit, and I'm gonna sneeze again. What's wrong with me?
We don't need to hear it every time. It's allergy season. Get over it. I think the reason why that happened is because Rachel doesn't know how to fight, and Louie has too many skeletons in his closet. So Fuda and Teresa,
I think John has them too.
I don't think so. Teresa would have found them. No. Teresa would have found them.
I don't know. No, Bo Diddle would have.
Yeah, Bo Diddle would have found him. Teresa would have found him. I think that I think that Teresa found the dirt on John. I think that John's really lucky that his ex-wife or the mother of his son is so messed up and in jail that he kind of gets a pass because she's the loser in the relationship.
Right. And she could blow it all up too.
I just think that we're at where we're at. I just think that Louie, you know, it must be tough coming on this show as a grown adult after
with
years
a lot of
doing
skeleton
things.
in your closet.
I mean, I don't fault him for it.
Who doesn't have skeletons?
I mean, I don't think many people
all of Joe Giudice's were exposed. Joe Gorgas have been exposed to a degree that he doesn't pay people and his work is shoddy. Melissa doesn't pay creditors with her store. Marge and Joe, they got together with an extramarital affair. I mean, everybody's stories come out. It's impossible.
Yeah, that's why
Danielle does in a way. John Fugazi's have. They all come out. Louie's are coming out.
I mean, Danielle's is personal, but it's not legal. So I think like, you know, there's a difference there. Like the Aydins is personal, sleeping in the pool house. They've all had it.
Right.
I think that it's kind of a rite of passage. Like you kind of have to say like, in order for you to be baptized on this show,
you have to have a secret come out about you.
Yeah, and if you're really good, let the skeleton walk out on its own because, that's really entertaining. Like
Yeah,
don't hide it. Like be real about it because that's why Marge never got pinned with that is because she
right.
led with it.
She owned it. Right. Now, John Fugazi should have known that his drug arrest was going to come out, though.
I don't know. I will say there was one point that I did like.
Yes,
I
and that
did like
was.
the example that they said about how, you know, it made me it doesn't really matter because John's an adult and so he's on the show, but I think it is true to say like, well, listen, like, if we don't want to talk about, things that our kids do, why are we talking about something I did when I was a kid? I mean, when he was 17, that's the one thing I have to say, like, it is a reach. I hope that they find more about him or there's more dirt that comes up or there's more of a fight because we can't go back. I just hope the Fudas don't keep going back to this stupid drug dealer accusation. I want to know, I truly need to understand how a 17-year-old is the biggest drug dealer in Bergen County.
Yeah, well, I
Because he
think
must be
we're.
a really, really, really good and crafty and sneaky. And that 17-year-old must have been rich because if you're the biggest drug dealer getting that kind of drugs from New York City, pretty much like that
Wow,
close in
you're
Bergen
amazing
County.
at 17.
Yeah, you must be
Now,
having, you
that
must.
usually takes skill.
My point there is I don't think it was I don't think it's the truth. Or she knows something that didn't hit the law, that he didn't get in
Oh,
trouble for, that maybe he did get in trouble at 17, but maybe this went on longer and maybe he didn't get in trouble.
oh, so you think there's something else to come
I
up?
mean, not every drug dealer gets arrested.
I don't know how many do. And for pot, I mean, but I will say I'm into body language big time. And the whole time he was telling the guys, he was sitting there with his arms crossed. You can
Yeah.
go back and look. And he was going like this, but he kept his arms crossed. And it was very interesting because Jeff Fessler, it is Jeff, right? Yeah, Jeff. I wrote it down because I forgot his name. He was just sitting there like all relaxed and stuff, like you would at a backyard party.
Yeah.
But he was sitting like this. That's why there's more to Fugazi. And he knows there's more.
Oh yeah,
And
there's more.
yeah, there's definitely more. I don't know if it's come out yet or it will. Who knows what's going to go down at these parties though this year because they are going to be epic. And do you care that Jackie relapsed?
What do you mean that she relapsed? Like,
She had started having an eating problem again.
do I care or do
Yeah.
I?
No, I asked, do you care?
I mean, I feel bad for her, but I think
Yeah.
like she's able to,
Yeah.
it's
Well, guess what? I didn't really care. I mean, what I'm saying is Jackie made a big deal out of Melissa talking about it, and Melissa said it's in the book. And Jackie's like, but the book didn't come out yet. And I thought Jackie was making a bigger deal of her eating relapse than needed to be.
I mean, let's see. I mean, I think mentioning it for a few minutes is not a big deal. Let's see if it's like becomes a storyline.
Yeah, we'll see that. I just, I'm saying, but I thought this episode had good pacing. It is definitely setting us up for a lot of explosions coming.
Yep. And then one that's going to be in a couple seasons when Teresa and Rachel Fuda become friends.
Oh, you mean like Jackie?
Let me tell you something. Teresa Giudice has a sick, unique way of becoming friends at some point with everyone she hates.
Who was her favorite? Danielle.
I mean, she brought Danielle back in.
And
She brought
Jackie.
Jackie back in. She brought Melissa back in after Strippergate. She has fought with Marge, brought Marge back in. Now she's back out with Marge. Teresa's very good at moving forward with people. She's just, if they don't mix, they don't mix. And, you can't fake
Yeah, but
it.
it's easy because everybody does, let's face it, want to be part of Teresa's circle.
Well, that was my point. Is like everyone realizes that she's the golden ticket to the show.
Yes.
And I think the Fudas are doing it, in my opinion, the way that there's some longevity, which is don't come in and try to be her friend. Come in and be her enemy. And you stay just as relevant if you're her friend.
I agree. So who was your mess?
My mess was Margaret, just because I felt like she could have been a little more tactful at the party.
Yeah.
Instead of looking like a little rat.
And then
she could have just sent her the screenshot.
Had Joe going.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was weird.
It was a little too much. I thought so too. I agree.
Well, Anyways, love you guys. We got so much coming up. OC's coming up. We got
Oh, I
lots of
can't wait.
fun.
OC is July 11th, I believe.
Yep. So
That's a
we'll
big
be
day,
here.
July 11th.
We'll be here to chat. We'll be here to tell you everything. We love you guys. Comment, like, subscribe, follow us on social media, engage with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.